Wife support. Wife support. Welcome to Wife support.
Hey, I'm Kaycee Conlee, and I use she and they pronouns, and I'm a comedian, a wife of hers, and a silly goose.
And I'm Amanda Conlee, she, her. I'm a nonprofit exec, her wife, and personal chef.
This is Wife Support. It's where two married lesbians, that's us, talk about queer life, love, and everything in between. We're going to share honest conversations about relationships, identity, wellness, money, all the things we're still figuring out.
Oh,
Get on
no, you
board.
have something in your teeth.
Is it bad?
That's
Is it major? Shoot. Well, we better hold on. Let me just go get it. We're not pausing. I'm gonna go take care of it. How did you not have seen it? Oh my god, babe, it's huge.
She's yelling from the bathroom. It's huge.
They can hear me. I still have the mic on.
Oh, jeez.
Babe.
This reminds me of that day at Panera Bread.
I
when
know.
You told your mom she
Of
had
course.
something in her teeth, and she was like, "That's major."
We still quote her for that epic day. That was truly major. That felt almost fake. Like that had to be like a prop or something. Okay.
Do you want to redo it?
No, I think it's
Okay.
better to be. I mean, I might trim some of that, but we're here to talk about codependency. That's this week's episode. We're, I think, pretty independent.
Yeah.
You paused.
I would agree.
Yeah.
We've worked really hard at that.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you feel like we've worked hard at that?
I feel like in the beginning when I first moved out here, I mean, I didn't know anyone. All your friends were my friends. Like we had to like be really intentional about like, okay, no, we need a little bit of space.
No,
we need
that's
to
actually true.
we need to have like things to talk to each other about.
I think, real quick backstory, when we first started dating, we were long distance. I was in LA, Amanda was in North Carolina, and when she moved out here to like finally give it a go in person, you're right. Not only did we started by, let's get Amanda friends that are like Amanda's friends, or that are our friends where you're not like Casey's girlfriend.
Yeah, shout out to Foot Beer.
Yeah, that's the name of our group text, which includes it. But, that was, you're right. I think you were probably doing it a lot more intentionally and thoughtfully, and I was just like, sure. Like, I didn't think of it in those terms. I just thought, like let's make sure she feels welcome.
I mean, it's no different how like when I was moving out and we was talking about where I was going to live and whatever, and you were like, wait, I thought we were going to move in together. We'll save so much money. And I was like, no. You cannot go from being long distance to living in the same house. You have to live in the same city first. And that, I think, honestly, that's the only reason I think we made it.
That shocks people.
Yeah.
When I tell them that, because especially in LA, I was like super stoked to like have cheap rent. Because I was at the time, I had one roommate, we had a 2-bedroom place. And I was like, oh, a third person in a 2-bedroom. This is going to be amazing.
Oh my gosh, Val would have hated that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think she would have been chill about it. Were we still living together when you got here? I thought I was with the guy. I don't remember his name.
Oh yeah, I don't remember his name either. Yeah, I guess Val had moved out by then.
So, but anyway, the not moving together right away, I think did really help us. I didn't understand the maturity of it at the time. I was just like, let's save money, let's live together. But also looking back, you had a dog.
Jake.
Oh my
His
gosh.
name's Jake.
That was his name, you're right. Were you even listening the last like 45 seconds or so? Or
Yes.
were you even searching for the
It
name?
just came out of nowhere. Sorry.
You did yell it like it was like a Jeopardy answer, but anyway, Jake, you're right. Jake is who I was living with, and I don't think he probably would have still been telling his bros about like, remember when I lived with 2 lesbians? Did we ever live with him? You didn't ever move in with me at that place.
No, we moved in together in Culver City.
Yeah. So anyway, okay, backtrack. Did you have the forethought? Were you not moving in together right away because you thought of this like codependency thing? My thought was at the time you had a dog, and to move from long distance completely across the country with that sort of the independence that comes with being in a long distance relationship, where you're like basically living your life solo for the most part, by and large, and then all of a sudden you have this other person to account for. To go right to living together, it would have been too much. But I didn't think that.
That's exactly what I thought, and that's why. Well, also like, I was also used to living alone because you could afford to do that in North Carolina.
Yeah.
At 25 years old. I was
bragging.
You know. So I was coming off living alone. I knew I was like, you can't go like, and I had never I had lived with a partner one time, but it was with 2 other people. So like I had never, you know what I mean? I just knew it wasn't smart. I was like, let me like get used to LA before we try to add in the concept of like living in the same house and space with your partner.
Well, it was the best thing you could have done. And I do think I was in my 20s too with that freedom of like, in LA, and it still is maybe, you're invited to something and then you're invited to something else and you're like, let me do the cooler thing or let me bounce between both. Or like, and you bringing in a dog into the picture adds a layer of responsibility and accountability that I was really not used to. Where it's like, you have to be home some.
Did you even know that yet?
No.
Yeah.
You mean, I knew you had a dog.
Well, okay, yeah. Oh, Kobe. Did you, but I'm saying I don't think you realized like how I had to structure my days like that.
This is all hindsight.
Yeah.
This is all me giving you props because I truly don't think I anticipated any of that. I was just super stoked to have my girlfriend here. And then you were like, let's not live together. And I was like, all right, that's chill, I guess. And then, yeah, and then it ended up being the best thing for we moved in together after like 11 months, right?
Yeah,
It was less
something
than a year,
like that. Less
and
than
then
a
we
year.
did find a place, and we moved into a place together, which I think was good because it wasn't like you coming into my space.
With no other roommates either.
Yeah.
Because having other roommates adds a layer.
Yeah. So, and then that.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? We can talk about this on a later podcast when we talk about our coming out stories, but can you imagine if I had told my family, not only am I moving to Los Angeles, I'm moving to Los Angeles for a woman, and I'm moving in with that woman. Can you imagine? I think their heads might have exploded.
Did they not know you were moving for me?
I mean, they did, but you know they
Wait, really?
No, they did, but you know they lied to themselves a lot.
Yeah, I guess it didn't occur to me that they
Like, don't you remember that whole
adding the moving in with me would have been very
difficult?
Yeah, it would have added a layer of seriousness to it that your parents were probably not ready for. But you're right, that is maybe a separate.
Yeah.
That's another episode. We're already teasing episodes. Look at us go. What professional
Yeah.
podcaster?
Okay, let's get back on track.
Okay.
So, codependency.
We're talking about this because I know it's a big theme amongst the queer community where queer couples, especially same-sex queer couples, are like they get close really fast and they have a lot of shared experiences and it can also often be like mistaken for codependency. Now, there's plenty that are also truly codependent.
True. Do you think we should define what codependency
Yes,
is?
see the papers.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why I have papers because I'm bringing some notes. I've come prepared. So I did look this up, and the technical term is codependency is a relationship pattern where one person excessively relies on another for their self-worth and emotional well-being, often sacrificing their own needs and boundaries.
Okay, so sacrificing is kind of like underline.
Yes, it's like you can be reliant on each other for these things. I think that's the nature of a relationship is like going to you for emotional support and it's when one person is sacrificing or like reducing themselves in order to do that or not finding how they actually feel about things. That's when it becomes codependent. When you're not like, there's no separate. There's only what that other person needs.
Got it. Okay.
And I also think I just think I should probably also mention we're not therapists.
No.
No one is trained here. But I do think we're qualified in the aspect of having a very healthy, like, independent and couple relationship.
Sure.
We have a good Venn diagram, if you will. Mm-hmm. Is that like the ideal? Relationship goals is
Venn diagram. Mm-hmm.
Relationship goals is being able to do a podcast together, maybe. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that's I think, and I also found in my research. I found some signs that you're in a codependent relationship, and so this might be helpful to listeners. But here are Women's Health Magazine signs you're in a codependent relationship. And it's just a few. I didn't write them all down. You take too much responsibility for your partner.
Okay.
So, like, not acknowledging that they're an independent, separate adult,
Okay.
essentially.
And they make their own decisions.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do things for them that they should do on their own.
Interesting.
So I think, now, as someone who loves to do a act of service,
yeah.
I think that this means, like, this is saying, like, they won't do it on their own or they've stopped doing it on because you're doing it so much. And it could be stuff like making doctor's appointments or... do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking about, like, the way you cook for me, which is, by the way, amazing.
I understand.
I mean things that they should do on their own that, like, they've maybe stopped doing or wouldn't do or whatever. Like, you're taking that role on.
Okay.
Again, not therapists. You struggle to identify your own emotions. I think that's a big one. Because yours is so caught up in how the other person is feeling that maybe you don't really, even take the time to notice how you're feeling separately.
So in real terms speak, is this like when you're hanging out with people and they always say we?
Well, I don't know. That's probably one of the times where it can be misconstrued as.
Can it? When you're like, we feel.
Okay, well, maybe we feel is a little bit different. But I say we all the time with us, though.
Yeah, but like if somebody's like, Kaycee, how do you feel about this thing? You're not like, well, we feel.
Yeah. Although I have learned, and maybe I should have known this sooner, I've relearned. Somebody was talking about to us the other day and like asked about your new job or your old job or something, and I started answering, and then you were like, I got this one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, you're right. You should get this one. Okay, and then the last thing, you should check in with your partner. Or no, sorry. The last sign is you check in with your partner before doing anything. So.
Well, okay. I think there's layers of that because like
No, my
there's
point
also
was-
like a courtesy level.
100%. I think that this one, it's more of like several of these things are all happening at the same time.
Oh.
I don't think any one of these on its own is a problem. I think it's when, like I said, like it says in the definition, it's a pattern, a relationship pattern, where it's like you're doing this all the time and you're doing several of these.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually think checking in with your partner before making plans is good. Before doing anything, probably not necessary.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So that's all. I think that's just like us. We're splitting hairs here, maybe, but
Yeah.
that's part of it.
Do you think we were ever codependent, or do you think like? Do you think we ever we had to? I mean, I know that we've obviously developed things that work for us to make sure that we're able to have a healthy relationship and then like also fulfill our own needs outside of it. But
We'll talk about that in a minute too. I want to get into that. I don't know that. I think we've had moments where we. Okay, so like what's popping in my brain specifically is there was a few years ago when my dad got sick, and I was so caught up in that and or being there for my family that. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert, he's okay.
Thank goodness.
Yes, he beat cancer. But like, I was so caught up in that I needed you to sort of guide everything else. So it wasn't, maybe it was like a tiny version of codependency for a short period, but it was, I don't know if it's codependency, but it was dependency where I was like.
yeah, I think codependency tends to say like both of you. Where what you're talking about is just like sometimes you need your other. Sometimes one partner needs to carry more of the load than the other.
Yeah, that is what I mean.
But also, well, like, yeah.
No, what?
I was gonna say it wasn't just your dad getting sick. Like also you had an ACL reconstruction and our dog had just died.
It
So
was a freaking trifecta of depression and difficulty that you went through some of it too. I mean, it's not
totally. But I mean, your
ACL
dad's
and
illness
dad
really
and-
just like
ugh.
catapulted it to a whole new level.
Yeah. Okay, though you're right though. I think you.
I don't think that's codependency.
No. See, we're learning together. I told you guys we were still figuring stuff out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we could start back at the beginning though, like when we kind of started to intentionally have these conversations. I think the first thing that comes to mind that you brought up earlier that was when you left television and decided you were going to pursue being a comic.
Yes. So I had lived out in LA for, at that point, probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years or something like that.
No, that would have been, you started comedy in what, 2015?
Oh, yeah.
And so you moved here in 2009.
Yeah. But I had talked about, I think I had talked about stand-up even when I was younger and been like, I wrote it off as like, that's not a real job or
Yeah.
whatever. But that's a whole other story. But after moving here, I had dabbled with like improv and stand-up and really wanted to like dive in. But I was working a job in TV. And not to say you can't do both, but the TV jobs I had were like so demanding time-wise that I just couldn't imagine trying to start stand-up and like go to open mics or find time to literally do anything else.
The entertainment industry does not prioritize work-life balance.
That's very beautifully said. Yeah, so I left television and started a little like marketing side, like freelance business. And that gave me enough time to start doing stand-up. So when we started dating and when you moved out here, none of that was on the table. You were just like, long distance relationship with this cute girl that works in TV.
Living.
And then I was like, I want to be a comedian. And you're like, okay, well, what does that look like? And I didn't even really know. It started with me doing like an open mic or two a week. And
Although I think because you had worked on Leno and Ellen, like you knew what it took like, to become a comic. And so you honestly jumped pretty head first and you were like, I'm going to have to be hitting mics most nights.
yeah, but I think, no, I knew that what the schedule was going to take, but I also had to like sort of gear up and
Yeah.
and get
And
into-
have jokes.
I had to, condition for it almost.
Yeah.
Like get ready, like adapt to that schedule. And so we had many conversations about basically, Amanda's love language is quality time. And so it was like, okay, if she's going to work all day and then come home and I'm going to be going to an open mic or be at one already, how are we going to get the time that we need to make sure that this relationship is cared for? And that we had to work on. It was like, she was like, I need at least, I think it was like 2 nights a week, or, like weekends can be
I think it was that we had identified, it was like at any given week, there needed to be one weekday and one weekend that, like, there was time.
Do you think early
Well,
on
like
it was
one
more
weekend
than that?
day.
You think it was only one?
I think it was 2 days a week. And it was like one weekday and one weekend.
That was like
Day
no-
or evening
no
or
stand-up.
whatever. It was
I
like,
get you.
or not even that, of just like, if I wanted to go do something, like comedy didn't trump it.
Yeah, yeah. Gosh, that's crazy to think. But
I mean, we've had to have that conversation multiple times over the years. You've been
Yeah.
doing stand-up for 10 years. It's like, and sometimes it's busier than others. Like, gosh, when we lived in Florida, you were out all the time because you were making a living being a comic. And it was like, that was a whole new adjustment for me too, because I was traveling for work, not home all the time with this really crazy job. And then you were living the dream.
But also us, I think to come back to, it was like us communicating.
Yeah.
And even when I would follow like whatever, guidelines we set, where it would be like, okay, give me 2 days a week. If 1 week I gave you none, then the next I would try to give you 4. Or if all of a sudden 2 days didn't feel like enough, you might be like, I really miss you and I haven't seen you much. Can we do like a date night, whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Or can we? And now we figured out a really good system where we do have like kind of a monthly date night. Also, we're in the summer season, which means we have 2 season ticket.
We might be
teams.
considered codependent right now. We did 4 sporting events this week.
I know, it's so wild. We have season tickets, a season ticket package for the Dodgers, and we have season tickets that we split for the Sparks. And this week culminated in accidentally 4 events in 1 week, which usually it's like 1 or 2 at most. And all of a sudden, that 1 week in August, it was like, whoa, here we go.
Everybody's home. Everybody's playing each other. Go.
Yeah, it was pretty. We just finished it last night with 4 games in 6 days, and it was fun.
Yeah. So
You were exhausted.
I was exhausted starting a new job and then trying to do that every night. So that's how we kind of worked around comedy. But like, I feel like you've always been the more,
Prone to be active?
I mean, independent, truly.
Also extroverted.
And extroverted. And so therefore, like, needing more time, like, out in the world in order to think. And me, if left to my own vices, I would probably be a hermit. So, like, that was also a thing, too, of, like, I needed to push myself out into the world more so that I could be with you. And then I also needed to find things on my own that got me out of the house that didn't rely on you. Because that's where we landed a couple of years ago, too, is I was just like, everything that we do sort of revolves around your schedule, and I need to find something for myself.
Well, I also remember I had comedy, I had basketball, I play a lot of basketball, and there's a community in LA of women that play, and there's pickup almost every night of the week, or a league or something you could get involved in. And I was like wanting to play more and more, and then it'd be like, okay, it's either stand-up or it's basketball, and then when it's neither of those things, I'm tired and want to be home, and Amanda's like, but I want to go out. And now my social battery's charged, and I'm ready to do something, and I'm like, well, I'm tired. And you're like, I need something for me. Mm-hmm. Basically, you were like, I need to have not a comedy necessarily, but a basketball, but a thing. And thankfully, I
tried on a lot of different things.
I was gonna say, and also realizing that and putting it into effect and actually finding and making it happen are 2 different things, and it can be really hard. I know you struggled with it for a while, and now I think you have a really well-rounded thing. You're in a queer book club, you've really gotten into hiking and solo adventuring in that way.
Mm-hmm. It's always more fun to hike with somebody else, but yes.
Also, like fitness, you're taking fitness classes that you didn't used to, things that you are comfortable doing alone. Like, do you remember the first couple of fitness classes? You were like, "Can you come with me?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
and
okay.
you were like, "No, go."
I was like, I can, but I really think you can do this on your own.
Pushing the baby bird out of the nest.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was. I want to just point that out because I'm sure there's people listening that are like, yeah, I know I need a thing.
Yeah.
But it's hard to find a thing.
It is really hard. I feel pretty lucky in that I have some really wonderful friends who, before I got comfortable hiking alone, I had never hiked without you, but then I had this really good friend a couple of them who were like, let's go hiking. And so I like kind of built the confidence of doing that with someone else. And then that, got me to doing hiking by myself, which I can do now and I'm more comfortable doing. And then also like, it takes one person that you feel, if you're somebody who is like me and then like you're really shy and to go do something like that is really hard. Like if you have a really good friend to go with you too, like I have an incredible friend who asked me if I wanted to join a queer book club, and I had looked into book clubs how many times and signed up for them and never went because I was like, no, I don't know anyone.
But also that good friend you just referenced was not a good friend when that book club started. They were just like someone you kind of knew.
I guess that's true.
I feel you felt a connection, and you definitely were like, we have a lot in common. This could be a beautiful friendship.
Yeah.
But at the time of that, you were like, it was still a little bit of a risk.
Yeah.
It felt like you had a tether.
Yeah. Yeah. Where I could like, there was somebody I knew that I could like have a conversation with if I felt awkward. And then lo and behold, like these are some of my closest friends these days.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I also think hiking solo, seeing you blossom into that where, maybe it started with one other person, or that person who was hiking solo, you sort of saw it demonstrated that like, well, if they can do it, I can definitely do it. And yeah, it also, when you're alone, it also helps you get mistaken for a park ranger, which you often do.
True.
But yeah, I think we've found good ways to like, navigate this, and we've gotten pretty intimate. I also think this is probably a point of contention for a lot of people. Shared calendars versus.
Oh.
I think what's the best thing we've done is we don't have a shared calendar, but we share our calendars.
Yes.
So there's not like a couple's calendar. There's my calendar and there is Amanda's calendar, and I can see hers, and she can see mine. And
you can add things to each other's.
Yes,
you can.
Full owner access.
What's the setting? It's like make changes and.
I don't know.
And view or something.
Yeah. Well, we're full access to either. And then all that being said, we do have work calendars, which are a whole separate thing that nobody cares about.
No.
I can't see your work calendar, and I don't want to see it.
You really don't.
Yeah. So, but anyway, the point is, I think it works. It's beautiful to be like. Especially when you're navigating that stuff where it's like, oh, do you want to go have dinner with whoever? And I could be like, yeah, let me look for a date. And now I can see that she doesn't have anything planned and potentially be like, yes, I think it could work this night. Let's hold it and I'll talk to her. B, get out of hanging out with someone I don't want to by saying, oh, I have a show, or Amanda has a thing. Yeah, it looks like, let me check with her. That's a great way to get out of stuff, by the way.
Yeah.
And then, or go ahead and make those plans. Because I know you well enough to be like, yeah, I can go ahead and say, I'll come back and confirm maybe, but yes, let's book it. By sharing it, Mm-hmm. And I have gotten to the point now where I would say black belt level. I'm advanced enough to check the day before and the day after. Because
that's brill.
If there's something that's like, I know you're going to go hard, like a wedding or what? It's true. That I know that the next day, she's not going to want to do something social that day too.
Yeah.
So I've gotten advanced enough where I'm like, well, day before, day after might mean you just get me, which is exactly what happened, by the way. Yesterday, I went to a pool party with like some of my basketball friends. Mm-hmm. Amanda is friends with a lot of these basketball friends nowadays. She's in the mix. But it's a big group. I only know maybe half of it. Maybe a third. And
no is a loose statement.
Yes.
I have seen them and spoken to them.
No.
With the exception of a couple.
I'll just say anyway, the point is, there's this big pool party, and I was like, oh, this coming on the heels of Amanda's new job, and we have a thing tonight. I'm like, I think this is going to be a Kaycee solo adventure, and I don't see anything else on the calendar, so I'm going to go ahead and, I don't even think I said yes right away, but...
I think you said maybe, because we talked about it to see if there was anything going on in the afternoon.
See, communication, people. That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah. I also think, there's a level of this, too, that we're kind of saying without saying, which is, what am I trying to say? When you go to something like that, if I were to go just to go because I feel like I have to, you're not going to have a really good time. And so, the different experience that you get when I'm just true to myself, which is that, you know what, I'd really like to just, read a book for the afternoon, you go do you. I'm happier, you're happier, and then therefore when we come back together, we're happier.
Yes. I think the hard part is in those times making sure nobody's feelings are hurt, because I think they can get hurt I know you're very sensitive. I think, selectively sensitive. And
How close is your period?
yeah, exactly. That's what you have to ask yourself. So, but I think it's hard in those moments because you're like, well, if I don't go with her, is she going to feel lonely? Will she feel bad? If you don't come with me, will I feel like, oh no, do I need to get back to her? Like there's a lot of feelings involved, so you have to be able to like talk honestly. And I think one of the best things you can do is like we do this sometimes in conversation. Where I'll be like, okay, take away all that other stuff. How do you feel? Like really feel about it. Mm-hmm. Don't weigh all the other shoulds or coulds or whatever. If everything else being equal, would you want to go to this pool party? And you're just like, I don't think so.
Hard pass, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it too. Like, there are times when I'm going to go on, like, a really big hike and I'm not going to be back till late. And I've caught myself, even though I know that you're fine. Like, and you were like, go, have fun. Like, if we're getting back later than I thought, or I thought you might want to do something, whatever, I would start panicking toward the last third of the hike and be like, oh my God, she's going to be mad. I didn't communicate. She can't talk to me, like, because we have no service. And then I get back to you and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, it was later than we thought. We took longer. And you were like, girl, I'm fine. Like, I don't know why we do that to ourselves.
I think that's anxiety, probably.
Oh.
And paranoia or whatever else. There's other stuff going on. Today we're talking about codependency, but there's a lot of other stuff going on. But yeah, I think, okay, so now that we've shared some stories, I would love to hear some stories from anyone listening out there.
Yeah.
Whether it be stories of mistaken codependency or true codependency, I got no problem with either. I would love to hear stories. So, like, hit me up on Instagram at Kaycee Conlee. I want to hear more.
Yeah.
Do you feel like we covered all of our bullet points?
I think so.
Looking at our note sheet?
Yeah.
Did we cover everything?
I think so.
Yeah, this was really fun. So it's time for our segment. We have a fun segment on this podcast. I want to close every episode with this, but we'll see. It's called What's Gayer? So
Wait, is it gayer or more gay?
Well, the podcast is, we're going to call it What's Gayer, but you might be right as far as grammar is concerned.
Okay.
And leave it to Amanda to correct our grammar.
My bad.
By the way. Okay, so What's Gayer? Today, we've got a battle between matching tattoos.
Okay.
Pretty gay. Versus a dog in a pride outfit.
Oh.
I know. I see now, on one hand, I feel like the matching tattoos, that's forever. So how is it not the gayest thing?
Okay, but I don't feel like matching tattoos are like, that only happens in the gay community.
That's
I
fair.
think breeders do that too.
I mean, the other one, you're already saying pride. Pride's inherent in it. That's going to be gay on its own. And then you're talking about dressing up dogs, which I feel like, as far as the lesbian community goes, we've really got that market cornered.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Even if you don't think you want to dress up your dog, you still will look at dog clothes.
I mean, anything in a rainbow.
Even if you don't have a dog, you probably still look at dog clothes.
Maybe.
Take much.
I don't feel like this is I feel like this is there's a clear winner on this one.
do?
Yeah, it's definitely the dog in the pride outfit.
Okay, wow. I think I'm actually going to be with you on this one.
Wait, does it depend on what the tattoo is? Like
Interesting.
Like,
what if the tattoo is a dog in a pride outfit? That's pretty gay.
That is pretty gay.
The matching tattoo of their dog.
What would be the gayest tattoo other than that? Because
No.
What is the gayest tattoo you can think of? Shared tattoo.
Scissors. Right? Like if you each got one? No, not too much. Or a rainbow, or what do you think? A flannel? A tattoo of a flannel?
You would not get matching flannel. Usually when people get matching tattoos, it's something about their relationship, like the coordinates where they met, or
wow, coming for blood. I'm sure there's people listening that have coordinates of some kind.
Hopefully they're gay.
Yeah, coordinates is pretty gay. Scissors, I think, especially if you each had one.
Oh, what, you just had one of the arms?
No, you each. Don't you understand?
Oh, I thought you meant literally a scissor. I understand now.
Yeah, so you would have one.
No, I don't want to do that.
I don't
want to do that.
Wait, hold on.
I don't want to do
You would
that.
have one on yours, and I would have it, and then we would make them scissor. No, you don't think that's pretty? That's the gayest tattoo. I've offended you.
I hope
personally.
no one has that.
Tacos. Pretty gay. I don't
Maybe.
think you can top scissor. As the coordinates, you're right. Depends on what kind of gay. I was very overt.
I mean, it could be like but I'm still thinking relationship terms. You're just going like gay culture things.
Yes.
I'm talking about like you have somebody's initials tattooed on your body.
Yeah, but I feel like straights do that too.
Yeah, they do. That's why I'm saying there's a clear winner here.
Okay, it's dog and a pride tattoo for us. But I would love to. I want to hear the votes. We're gonna put up a poll in my Instagram story at Kaycee Conlee. Go vote. We'll share the results next week in the next episode. And
Yeah.
This has been really fun.
Yay!
Next week, what are we talking about?
Gay at work?
Gay at work. We're gonna talk about careers, starting a new job, stuff like that. It's relevant because we've got one here who just started a new job, and it's Amanda. In case that wasn't clear.
That's me. Hi.
Let me spell it up. Okay, thanks for watching, listening, or however you ingested this.
Ingested? I don't think ingested.
All right, thanks for listening. I'm Kaycee Conlee.
Hi, I'm Amanda Conlee.
You're saying hi. It's
I
the
did.
end.
I'm sorry. Thanks for listening to Wife Support.
You're cute. All right, bye guys.
Bye.